Back here at NSUSpartans.com, our weekly coaches show, here with interim head coach for volleyball, Brandon Duvall. Brandon, second weekend's in the books now. Obviously the first weekend was always going to be those nerves. Second weekend, there might still be some nerves, but there shouldn't be as many nerves. What did you see out there from your team compared to the first weekend that you saw, okay, we're getting there, we're improving, something maybe, even if it's something minute that you saw that the team really did better than the previous weekend?
I think overall team communication is getting better. The girls are getting comfortable being around each other. We're spending a lot of time in practice trying to get the girls, especially the ones that seem to find their way on the floor more often, trying to get them to mesh, know who's next to who, how people work. I mean, that's just getting to know you type stuff and getting comfortable with the personnel that's around you. I think we're starting to figure that out a little bit. We've got to work a little bit on our consistency. That seems to still be a little bit of an issue where, we're able to run all the plays. Our offense and our defensive system seems to be clicking here and there, but just not enough and not often enough.
Yeah, I mean, looking at it, obviously there were some good teams there, but it's kind of like that first weekend. There were some matches where it's like, you look like, obviously I wouldn't have to, but it's like you look like you're just like right there, but you're still just a few points away from that
Yep.
win. Like you're so close, but it's just like a couple more points swing your way in it's a different match.
Yep. Yeah, we, for instance, Robert Morris, we had some, we come out and storm the first set, and immediately going into the second set, we make probably 3 out of 4 unforced errors, and now we're already down 1-3 or 1-4 or 1-5. And that entire match, we're trying to play catch up, and the play, no such thing as perfect volleyball. So to try to play an error-free game is next to impossible. Well, then you can't afford to make an error because you're trying to cover ground and trying to go ahead. That's very difficult, and that's kind of where we struggled a little bit this weekend, where we allowed teams to get up on us. We fight back, but the whole entire match seems to be us fighting back. And we'll cut it close and we'll tie it up and then just lose it right at the end. So it's promising to know that we have the ability to come after these teams, but we've got to work on our consistency issues still.
Doing it a lot, doing it all the time, like you're
Yeah.
saying. One player who did have a great weekend was Charlotte. In the last match there, it was like a 600 hitting percentage, unheard of, 22 kills, 1 error, 35 points. I don't know if you've ever seen a line like that before, but I mean, that was just, what was with her this weekend that she was just on fire?
I think she just got sick of it. You know what I mean? Like we got on her. We expect a lot out of our leaders. When it comes to Beatrice or Charlotte or Matra or any one of our senior leaders or upperclassmen, we're demanding a lot more out of them because they've already been through this life. We have a freshman setter right now who, to me, is probably one of the most difficult things to come in as a freshman, is to be a setter and be a leader of the team. And then Darcy's doing a good job, but our expectations of our upper class are really high right now, and Charlotte knows that, and Charlotte accepts it. And something happened going into against Providence. I think she was pretty upset about the loss against Robert Morris. Had a little bit of time to think about it, and then came out and just lit it up. It was so exciting to watch. I mean, everybody supported her, everybody backed her up. She was able to get multiple swings in every rally, and it really worked out for us.
Yeah, like you said, she had 19 kills against Charlotte Morris earlier that day on Saturday. She closed it up with 22.
Yeah.
And even Beatrice, that second match, she had a solid match too, hit over 400, 16 kills, just 2 errors. So obviously you got those senior leaders that stepping up and do what they need to do. But now you switch it around. Now, first 2 weekends on the road. Now we're at home here in Eccles Hall. You've got another 3 good teams coming in. You've got Rutgers, you've got Stetson and UNC Wilmington. So I guess now turning your focus to playing at home, not having to travel and all that. I mean, what are you looking for your team this weekend?
It's going to be nice. I mean, this is the gym we practice in every day, so it shouldn't be, we have the home court advantage. We have the fans, we have the families, we have the students, we have everybody coming in. So that's always going to be a nice little plus for us. The fact we get to sleep in our own beds, the fact that we don't have to go through the travel part of it, it's going to be a plus. And bringing this level of team into our gym. I've coached in the area for a long time, and I know a few people that have gone and still go to UNC Wilmington. And we actually have a girl who we coached some years ago, back in juniors, who is now a senior, who's coming home. Basically, this is her homecoming with Rutgers. So it's just overall, it's going to be really exciting. The competition is going to be unbelievable, and that's what we want to see in our gym. bringing in teams like Rutgers and UNC Wilmington and Stetson, so the area can come in, watch good Division I volleyball, support the program more, and get our girls accustomed to playing that level. So when we get around conference, which our conference is getting better, when we get around conference, we've already been battle tested.
Yeah.
As much as we'd like to have wins and be successful during our tournament season, this is the time for us to prepare to play our best during conference.
Yeah, and that's what it seems like the theme of these first couple weekends has been. You can really, I mean, even in next weekend too, when you go up to Colorado,
Oh, yeah.
it's like you're playing teams that are really just at, for the most part, are at a higher level than we've seen in the MEAC. Now, is there to a point when you're playing teams like that it's, I don't want to say demoralizing, but it's like when you're facing an opponent that's just that good, how do you turn that into
spin it
positively when you go against the MEAC teams later in the year?
We talk about our expectations before we play those teams. Duquesne this past weekend, we knew was a very tough team. They're very polished. They have a lot of seniors on their team that have all grown up through the system together, and they're just unbelievable right now. And that's what we want to play. We want our girls to be exposed to that level of volleyball. And for the most part, we were extremely competitive with them, especially in the first set. We were on top of them all the way through until I think about 17. Then errors started creeping in, a little nervousness, things like that. But we just take it for what it's worth, and we know that those teams are already well established, and those teams have been doing it for a long time. And we're a program that we consider ourselves still kind of young, based off of where we're trying to get to, and we want our girls to see that. And at the end, when we talk, and if we do lose that match, we definitely try to bring out as much positives in it as possible. Those who accomplish something, like against the Robert Morris match, where Charlotte did have 19 kills. If we have a player with 19 kills in a match, we just need people to follow that up, and then we start growing. So, we try to take as much positive as we can out of it and learn what we need to learn from it. That way, when we go to the next match, we're a better team.
Yeah, a lot of times, obviously it's about wins and losses, but sometimes it's even if it's a loss, it's a win because you're learning about your team and you're figuring out how to do everything, which obviously that conference season is the most important part.
It doesn't look good on our record, obviously. So if somebody look at the record like, oh, they're losing here and there. To me, that's the least of my concerns right now. And I know a lot of people may beg to differ, but in my opinion, when I created the schedule, I wasn't too concerned about what our record would be by the time October rolled around or late September rolled around. I wanted to make sure that the team that we had, especially with the number of new players to the roster, we wanted them to get as much experience in a short period of time as possible. That way, when we go and play our first weekend in Baltimore, I believe, that we're ready to play against Coppin and Morgan, and then get to Howard and get to Hampton and all that stuff.
Like I said, the Spartans will be here in Eccles Hall this Friday and Saturday, September 7th and 8th, Spartan Classic. Tournament gets underway at noon on Friday. Two of the other teams will be playing each other, because then it's Stetson, UNC Wilmington, and Rutgers coming in. NSU will kick off its home schedule at 7:30 on Friday against Stetson, and then follow that up on Saturday at 1 and 6 against UNC Wilmington and Rutgers. So come on out and support your NSU volleyball team. Football team's on the road, but come out, still support your NSU athletics. For all your information this year on NSU volleyball and everything NSU athletics, obviously, check out NSUSpartans.com.